Hi, this is Beth Sanden from San Clemente, California.
And I'm Di Chapman from Atlanta, Georgia. And you're watching GoTarryn TV.
Hey everybody, welcome to GoTarryn TV. It's episode number 488. I'm Tarryn, the traveling trainer out of Atlanta, Georgia, and side by side next to me, as you can see, we're going to start from left to right. We have all the way from San Clemente, California, Ms. Beth Sanden, who was previously on here on GoTarryn TV. And secondly, we also have from Atlanta, Georgia, Ms. Di Chapman, who is on GoTarryn TV previously. Ladies, how are you doing today?
Terrific.
Great. I'm doing great. How about you, Beth?
I'm doing terrific. Thanks.
Oh, wonderful.
It's good to see you guys.
It's great to see both of you. This is the very first time that I'm able to face-to-face see you both, and I love doing the video podcasts like this because that way the folks don't have to concentrate on my ugly mug. They can see two beautiful ladies right here on the screen instead of me. So, well, if you don't mind, Beth, I'm going to start with you first. Since we had you on the last couple weeks ago, I told you what a great positive feedback that I had from a lot of my followers and fans. And, what a great testimonial. For the folks who missed that, check out episode 485. Beth Sanden talks about the 7 continents and 7 marathons that she completed. And thanks to, connecting us, I should credit Ms. Di Chapman. Di, you're the one that got us connected. Di was first here on episode 446 for the folks who want to go back there and watch that episode via audio podcast. So going back to Di for a second here, Di, can you take us through and tell us about how your relationship started with meeting Beth for the first time, please?
I met Beth for the first time way back in, Beth, was it the early 90s?
Oh,
it had to have been. It had to have been. We were both working in fitness. Beth has continued that, as you know, and what I did was I kind of morphed into a writer about fitness. But we met many years ago while we were both in the fitness industry together, and we started doing a lot of work together. We were a team as far as going out and being trained the trainers and instructing fitness instructors. I took the tactic of working with them on their business promotion and branding, and Beth would be the presenter who would talk about some of the latest in the exercise science industry. So, and Beth, I'm sure you can add something to this too if you want.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's Diane and I go way back, and it's actually a couple of years right after I had my babies. So it would have been around 90, 91, something like that. And we'd known each other. I knew she was a great writer even back then. She was a writer for some fitness magazines like Fitness, it's the AFA, Aerobic and Fitness Association.
American Fitness Magazine and Idea Magazine.
Yeah, and now it's become NASM, by the way, and NASM. But anyway, we go way back, and we've had many conversations and a lot of involvement with not just only the fitness field, but just, on a personal basis too, going back and reminiscing some years we could definitely do. And Diane is the one that basically, years ago said, once I started doing the marathons on each continent, I said, you're going to write this book about this because you're the only person I would trust and know that could actually do it. And so hang on and let me get this stuff finished, and then we'll go for it.
That's awesome.
And here we are.
Yes. Let's talk about the book for a minute. Beth, can you elaborate more on the book itself and what you envision for this to turn out?
Well, as you know, Tarryn, and Diane knows, I'm an older person. I'm 62 this year, and basically it's to encourage, I hope, others that have disabilities, to encourage them that it doesn't matter what age they are, that just go out and live life and be as physically active as they can. There are so many possibilities and so many different hopes in this world for those people to participate either in a sport or just to go out and bike ride or wheel with their family, play basketball with their kids, wheelchair basketball. Diane does this too. I'm really involved with Challenge Athletes Foundation. And they're basically writing grants every year for people to accumulate and try and get that equipment so that they can be physically active, no matter what the disability is, if it's an amputation or if it's spinal cord or spina bifida or any kind of muscular dystrophy, things like that. That if they need equipment to get them mobile, that's what we do. And basically, that book is something I'm hoping will inspire those that have disabilities, and even those that don't, but would continue to be as healthy as they can throughout their life. And I want to encourage those, because I'm not young and I can't go to the Paralympics, but
You're
I have
young. So young.
You are, yes.
Younger old, I guess, but anyway.
I was going to say, Beth.
A new term. Not for old.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, you don't look 62 at all. I would have guessed maybe 39 at least. But
So sweet.
seriously, that's what you're a walking testament, literally, of what fitness and health does. And then, Di, back to you for a second. Can you maybe just piggyback on what Beth was just talking about in terms of the book? And same question to you too. What's your vision for it as well?
My vision is to portray and to communicate Beth's mission.
Mm-hmm.
And what we decided to do too is make it not only about disabled, although that obviously is a very large part, but I want it to be inclusive of everyone who has had a serious challenge that they're dealing with, and feel like their life has been put on hold, feel disappointed, feel discouraged, feel like they're in a detour that they can't figure their way out of. And so what we're doing as well as working and making sure that message about you can do anything you want, you can do it if you have the faith and the guts and the perseverance. And Beth is such a great example of that, both for disabled individuals and, in my opinion, and this is in the book, also for those of us who have been through some major, difficult life challenges. I wanted to inspire them as well.
That's awesome. Very
Perfectly
good.
said.
Yeah, very, very well said. Back to you for a second, Beth. What are some of the challenges or obstacles, if any, that you could think of in creating this book? Are there anything, in other words, that have come out that just were hard or difficult for you to express and put on paper, or say to Di for her writing it?
I don't think anything's really been difficult to share with her, because she went and walked through that whole experience with me 14 years ago when I broke my back and became a paraplegic. Again, I think, 14 years out, you mature a lot in your mindset, and you also, again, have hurdles, but it's just you take one at a time. And the one thing I remember was my pastor just saying, you live one moment at a moment. Only one moment by time, and you just continue to walk or do whatever you can to get over that obstacle. And anyway, I think that being open with Diane, because I'm comfortable with her, has helped me to be able to be very honest.
That's excellent. And back to you, Di. Same question again. What are there any challenges, I guess, that you find in writing this?
Time. It's my biggest. I when it comes to writing about Beth, because I know her so well, and I also love what we were trying to do with the book, I am in flow on the words. I absolutely have no trouble with the words. And in fact, when I'm not working on it because of time constraints and the time I have to give other clients, I have found that I'm all the time scribbling down notes of the things that I want to say when I get back to the time on the book. But the biggest challenge for me is time, because there is so much that wants to flow out of me. The words come tumbling out. So I try to capture those as much as I can, on note paper, literally, to make sure I don't forget them. But it's a joy. It's a joy for me. It's not work to me. It's a joy.
Let me ask you, Di, follow up on that. With this book, and again, you don't have to give too much away, but what would you say if I asked you, what do you find most rewarding when writing this or in creating this? Is there anything that comes out as like, oh my God, this is why I'm writing this book? Is there anything that comes out like an enlightening moment like that you find very rewarding?
The question is, what is there a non-enlightening moment?
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Mm-hmm.
This whole book is illuminating. It's enlightening. It is so powerful in its message. And that power just absolutely is wonderful for me. Because I can, as a writer, one of the things that you're capable of doing is envisioning a final product. And you actually see it in your mind, and you're writing toward it. That's what you're doing. It's like if you were on a journey on Route 66, and you know what your final destination is, you picture it, and you're just working towards it, driving towards it. So as a writer, that's one of the things that comes naturally to you. Is that you are able to see that that end result, and you're just writing to it.
Very good. I like that. And back to you, Beth. When we had you on last time on the podcast show, the people got to just, we scratch the surface, meet you, and hear the stories of the incredible, 7 marathons and 7 continents. And we've talked about that and discussed that. What right now do you have in the works for this year or the next couple of years that you're working on?
Oh, boy.
That's a fully loaded question, I realize.
Again, we talked about obstacles, of course, just a couple minutes ago. But basically, my eye's been on the North Pole Marathon.
Oh, right. Yep.
In 2017. And that is, again, it will be what we call the grand slam of all marathons because you do 7 continents and the North Pole, you get another Guinness World Book of Records. So the object is to be getting, equipped for that because, again, it's going to be different conditions than the Antarctic or any other marathon. It's something that, I'm trying to focus on right now, although I had an obstacle come up where my Guinness World Book of Records, Diane, I think I vaguely talked to you a little bit about it, but
yes, you did.
The race director, one of the race directors from the Great Wall of China Marathon, the race director, he's kind of holding me hostage. And so I'm leaving for Vietnam in about 8 days. So to do another Asian continent, mainly because Guinness will not just only accept just a video of the marathon. They want the race director's signatures. They want to.
Oh, what?
But believe me, I understand.
Come on.
No, they are very exacting, and I understand too why they are so stringent on some of their requirements. And I understand that because about almost a month ago, there was a gentleman who was an amputee who applied for the official world records out of Spain as the first amputee to run the Great Wall of China Marathon. Yet he did not run the marathon. He only did an 8K. He couldn't do it. And he's not the first amputee to do a run on the Great Wall of China Marathon. If you Google it or Wikipedia, my friend Sarah Reinerston is the one that actually did it 2 weeks after I did the marathon, which I did the full marathon. She did a 10K. And this gentleman had completed an 8K and completed the forms for OWR. Again, they did not check the records or Wikipedia or Google anything. All they substantiated was some money and, you got a race director to sign this. And they put him in the OWR. He was recently now reprimanded.
Wow.
Was found out. Because, again, like I said, Guinness World Book is the gold book. That's why they put you skipping through all these or, getting you through all these hoops. So everybody, the 6 continents have got all their paperwork into me. I've filed it with Guinness, but I'm going next week to get that Asian country. And the race director, Marcel Lenaerts, a Dutch gentleman, has definitely welcomed me and is very happy to sign the papers and is enthralled, and he has the mayor and the governor come.
Oh,
my
cool.
God. Wow.
That's
And all this
great.
stuff. And, basically it's okay. Here's an obstacle. You know what? God always makes a way, and he did. This is where I'm going in another week to go get that finished. And so I can get this recorded. And then now after this, I'm going to set my mind on the North Pole and getting the equipment already. So anyway, yes, obstacles. There's always obstacles. Like I said, God always makes the way to be able to get another way or get it finished or do something else. It's just, I'm so close.
That's amazing.
You know what? That's what amazes me personally. It's that she is able to overcome all these obstacles. When you hear her story, it's just, and I guess that's life, and what you're doing, Beth, is larger than life. So there are just all these obstacles that pop up constantly. Yet Beth and her team includes her husband. The two of them figure out these ways to make it work, and that to me is amazing. And yet, I guess it falls under the category of if there's something you really, really, really want, you will find a way. It falls under that category.
Yeah, nothing worth fighting for comes easy, definitely. And every time I've seen Beth, and we've mentioned this with both of you ladies, I've talked to this, I've observed with the research I've done and the video overlaps in our video blog that we did, Beth, every single time I saw you completing these races, you always had a smile on your face, too. And I just am amazed with that. I mean, who does that?
That's her trademark, Sarah.
It really is. I'd probably be looking like frowning and crying and groaning, and you wouldn't want to see my face trying to do that. I don't know how you pull it off, Beth, but you do. So you do it beautifully. A beautiful smile.
Sweet, thank you. It's just,
no, seriously.
It feels good not to quit. It feels good to finish it. That's just it.
You don't have quit in your vocabulary.
No, she doesn't.
So,
no.
Beth, tell us about the. Okay, so let me ask you this: have you been to Vietnam before?
Never.
Never. Oh, okay. I was making a wrong assumption. I was going to say you probably with everywhere you've been, you've been there dozens of times. So this is going to be interesting. So this is your first time there. Can you tell us a little bit more about? So you're leaving. You said from the time we were doing this video blog, you said about 8 days. Is that right?
Correct. I'm going to be leaving in 8 days, and I've never been to Vietnam. And
oh my God.
All I can say is that the race director, again, when I found out that I needed to find another Asian continent, I thought, gosh, where do I start? So, of course, my daughter is very reliable. And anyway, so she said, Mom, look at Singapore or Thailand or Vietnam. They have marathons. Just, look them and look at them, write a letter, write an email to them, and ask who would accept you. And, of course, the Vietnamese gentleman, Marcel Lenars, he's the first one that responded. Probably about 2.5 weeks later, the Thailand folks actually responded as well and welcomed me. Wow. But their race is this Saturday, and there's no way I could make.
Oh,
jeez, wow.
So I just went, thank you very much. But the gentleman in Vietnam was, again, Marcel. He was very welcoming. It's actually June 11th is when I'll go and do the race.
Okay.
He was very welcoming in regards to having any race chairs or any hand cycle or anything that would be able to welcome a disabled person to come and do it. And he said that, this is going to be a great chance because we'll be able to show our people that are disabled what they can do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If we can do a marathon, we would love to open this up to any of them if they can get the equipment, which is great because that's my message is, yes, you can get this equipment. And, basically it's just, he's been perfectly wonderful about it. He's been reminding me of, it's a little bit hot here. It's about 90 degrees and raining 100%. It's our rainy season. So, and the marathon is part off-road and part paved. Oh. So that was real interesting. And he goes, it looks like you've gotten through every kind of terrain there is. So I had to make a decision. Do I take my 17-pound race chair, which is 2 inches off the ground, or do I take my, mountain hand cycle that can go through anything, including the Antarctic? And do I do that silly thing through the whole marathon? And it looks like I'm going to take the 45-pound mountain hand cycle and just, trudge through whatever I can. So
Wow.
any can. So yeah, and he's been very diligent about emailing me and then also giving me pictures of what the terrain looks like, which is great.
Awesome.
Again, it may take me a little bit longer than normal, but that's okay. We'll get it done.
He gets it. Isn't that wonderful? He gets it. The opportunity for someone to come and do that race and inspire disabled individuals, this man really understands how important that is. It's awesome. And he's excited about it.
Yeah, very much.
It's got to be an honor for him, too. I mean, seriously.
Exactly.
Just to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's Di, are you going to be able to document this somehow, I assume? Like, being able to follow her?
Oh, yes. In fact, she's done an additional marathon because she was invited back to Rome. And that was just, Beth, about a month ago?
That was in April, correct.
And so we'll be adding that experience into the book.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll add the Vietnamese experience in. And, of course, the Arctic Circle, which is, when she tells how she's got to get there, even, it's pretty amazing. We'll definitely, obviously, be documenting that. And Beth is really good about having photos as well. And one of the things that I'm really excited about in the book, and I always tell everybody when I give the book to someone, the manuscript, what we have so far, I'll say, look, I never expect anybody to read my writing. That's the worst thing you can do, is put someone on the spot and say, hey, read this. I always say, if you'd like to read this, I'd love to hear back from you. And I say, honestly, though, all you got to do is look at the pictures. Because those pictures tell a great story. We have so many pictures, Tarryn, and they alone tell this story. In fact, sometimes I hand it to people that I know, and I'll say, gosh, I'd love for you to take a look at it. And then I'll say, here, let's just flip through for a minute. And the minute, for example, they see the photo of her on the Great Wall of China, their jaw drops, and they look through.
I can relate. That's how I was when I first
It's jaw-dropping.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I can't wait to get a copy of the book when it. So, what are we looking at for estimated time? I know that's a hard question right now, but what do y'all foresee as far as the book being able to get our hands on it?
Beth decided. Go ahead, Beth.
This was probably about 2-3 weeks ago. I shared with Diane. I said, I just got done reading another book of an older woman who was able to accomplish some pretty incredible goals, and yet, when I was done with her book, it was like it left me hanging for, are you going to write a sequel to this book? Because she left me hanging for another year that she is planning on doing something else. And I went, no, we got to tell the whole thing. I mean, I want to just do part of it now and part of it later. And the idea of it is, I shared with Diane, I said, we need to really focus on maybe waiting until we get this North Pole done, this North Pole Marathon done, because that's going to be the clincher for, 2 Guinness World Book records. Again, I don't know what else there might be out there. Who knows? God plans it pretty much ahead of me too, but I'd like to have at least a finish, not just leave them hanging because I'm doing the North Pole Marathon next year, and just leave that as the last sentence. And I'm going, nah, that doesn't.
No, I agree with her wholeheartedly. It has to be in there. It's going to make that book it's just going to make it rockin' to have that in there. And Tarryn, the other thing that we're doing that I asked Beth if she was on board with, if she was okay with it, is we're going to add into each chapter at the end kind of a call to action for those who are reading the book to be inspired. If we're going to take Beth's lessons, which is what they are, they're lessons for us about overcoming the odds, and taking what you have and making the most of it, making it joyous, making it really meaningful to you. So at the end of each chapter, we've decided that I'm going to add on a short sort of call to action to those who are reading the book. And it will be about, okay, now what can you do in your life with this.
I like it.
Your life happier, more fulfilling, more with a sense of expectation and future. So we're adding that now to each chapter. And for me, I think that also helps take us with the reader to bring them along to say, listen, there's more coming. Just watch. We're going to continue this journey.
That's awesome. I just talking to y'all and listening to it. I can't wait to read it myself.
You will have a copy, Tarryn.
I got to, yeah.
If you'd like, should we give you the first?
I would be honored, and like I said, once I get my hands on it, I'm going to encourage all of my clients and everybody that I talk to get their hands, because I think I mentioned to this both y'all, like just hearing the stories from Beth, and when I have my clients, for example, when I train them and they tell me, oh, I just can't make it today, I'm just feeling a little sluggish. I'm like, well, you know what? You need to read this book and figure out, are you really not into working out today, or you're not motivated? Because the big thing, I use the word inspiration over and over, but also motivation. I think this book will motivate a lot of people, including myself, too, seriously. So that's why, again, I just commend both y'all for what you're doing. It's just amazing. It's truly incredible.
You're right about the motivation factor. Because some of the folks that I have given, because I wanted their feedback on it, that I have given these preliminary couple of chapters of this or that, they read it and they all come back and they say, how can I not seek what I'm supposed to do? How can I not, after reading this? I'm so inspired, so motivated. I got to get off my keister and get moving, because if she can do this in her circumstances, I can do what I really want to do in my circumstances.
And I love that, your book, I already could tell, it's going to capture that, but also tells a great story and articulates it with the wonderful photographs and pictures you're going to include. And it's a true story, too, which, again, you put all that together, this book's going to be epic, so I think so. Yeah.
I think it's going to be, I really believe that we have a book that is going to get out there.
And once,
because of Beth, and because I'm a great writer.
It's true. It's very true, absolutely. That's
well, thank you.
I can't wait, like I said, and we're going to do everything we can. Once, I love having both of you on these podcasts, too, and I've enjoyed, this past 30 minutes has just flown by really fast. But once you get back, Beth, from Vietnam, if we could set up and the three of us, another conference to see how that went, and then that segues into how closer we're getting to the, Arctic challenge for next year. But let's definitely keep doing this as a recurring interview, because I'm just finding these fascinating. I think we could fill up 30 minutes or an hour just easily with these talks that we're having. It's just fascinating. I just truly enjoy these.
Well, I would love that. What about you, Beth? Does that sound like something you'd love to do?
Absolutely.
That's good. So, Beth, when you come back, let's definitely, the three of us, collaborate on a time and hit another podcast. But before I let you leave, again, I've truly enjoyed having both of you on here, especially Beth. It's an honor to be able to hear your story firsthand like this. I appreciate you giving us the time and platform to do this. Let me start first with Beth and ask, how can people contact you directly, Beth, if they're watching or if they want to learn more about you? What's the best ways to reach you, or social media and what have you, please?
Oh, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and there's also my email if there's questions or anybody that would like to talk. My email is on my Facebook as well, so definitely they can get in touch with me that way.
Perfect. We'll get that on the screen. And then same question to you, Di. What's the best way for folks to find more information about yourself and the other books that you've written too?
I am on Amazon as an author, and the name I go by as an author is Diane, Diane, middle initial Y, period, Chapman. And on LinkedIn, you'll find me there at length on LinkedIn, and I go by Di Chapman, but in the middle of it, I have Diane Y, just because that is a professional name that I use a lot. Mm-hmm. But most of the people that I work with day to day know me as Di Chapman. And I'm on Facebook. It's Diane Chapman, of course, Atlanta, Georgia now, and Twitter. And on Twitter, it's Inspirational Di.
Perfect. And speaking of which, Di, we hope that your recovery is going well. For the folks who this is their first time watching you because it's our first video Skype. I guess we've got the arm and the leg as well.
Arm and foot.
The
Foot. I had a gift when I got back. I came back in a cast with the foot and didn't even notice that my arm. It was kind of hurting, but because the foot was so overwhelming, I didn't think about my arm. And then all of a sudden, it just got to the point where I can do anything without it just, I just literally wince. Oh. So I went to the doctor last week and found out that Milan also gave me a souvenir of a broken arm.
Oh, good night.
And I just posted that on Facebook today, by the way.
Oh, okay, that's
and of course, I did it with a smile, which just grabs everybody. But honestly, I have to laugh. I mean, a foot and an arm? It's like a comedy. So, and brand new to me, by the way.
Well, like I said earlier, both Di and Beth, y'all are an inspiration. Both of you handle pain and challenges with a smile. Unlike me, I'd be a crybaby. And anybody knows me, I have the lowest threshold of pain there is. So, but it was truly a refreshing honor, again, to have both of you on here and speak to you both. I really enjoyed this, and I can't wait to do this again with both of you very soon. So, again, keep up the great work. And, again, Beth, best wishes and good luck. Safe travels to Vietnam, and let us know how it goes out there.
Will do. Thank you.
Very good. All right, Beth, Di, thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. And
sounds great, and thank you, Tarryn. This has been awesome.
All right, everybody, there you have it. That'll do today's video blog show with both those nice, young, beautiful ladies, Ms. Beth Sanden and Ms. Di Chapman, right here back on GoTarryn TV, and we definitely want to thank both of them for being here. I want to wish Beth the very best of luck as she completes the Asian Marathon over in Vietnam, and we're definitely going to have both of them right back here on GoTarryn TV in a future video blog show, so don't you dare miss that. In the meantime, please make sure to check out their contact information and learn both about, again, Beth Sanden and Di Chapman. And truly was an honor and a special treat to have them right back here on GoTarryn TV. And like I said, we're going to be looking forward to having them back on in the very near future. So I want to thank everyone. That'll do it for today's video blog episode. And please make sure to also check out GoTarryn by doing the following 3 things. Please make sure to like GoTarryn on Facebook, subscribe to GoTarryn on YouTube, and follow GoTarryn on Twitter. And that way you'll stay connected with yours truly, the master of the personal training universe, Tarryn, the traveling trainer of GoTarryn Personal Training, who tells each and every one of you that it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. Thanks so much. We'll catch you on the next video blog, everyone. Bye-bye.